The absolute one-tapper nine, the memes and dreams are both here. Let's show you how to hit as hard as humanly possible with Nine with the full details of her kit. Welcome back to the channel. I'm still gigasick. I'm almost better though. Let's check this out. So this is based on the Hue Extreme version of Nine's Hue, and we are going to stack as many multiplicative buffs on Hue Extreme as humanly possible. You could use this to meme and dream also in certain matches. It could just be the highest DPS thing that you can do, highest damage within 10 turns. If you're hitting for multiple millions of damage divided by 10, you're doing over 100,000 damage per turn, so it's pretty decent in that regard. Now, this is a very specific setup. You want to have super tiny decks on everyone, and this is the best Nine deck for the Hue Extreme one-tap meme. You are going to want to have Counterblade with Exhaust gained Hone Edge, because everyone in the team is going to be exhausting cards like crazy every single round, so this is going to be very easy for you to max out. Fighting Spirit could be any card, but we don't want to be casting any attack cards while we're setting up. So you're just going to leave this here, and actually I will show you a way to get rid of this card during your battle as well, so it doesn't clog your draws and you can actually get into a pretty consistent loop at the end of the day. So we will be removing this card. And then finally, also a must-have is some zero-cost Spore card. It could be Spore Harvester. It could be the one that gives you a shield and then generates a contaminated spore that sits in your hand, but you want her to have a spore in your hand for consistency reasons, because we are using a support Cassius as well in conjunction with Pop Odd Popper to generate full house quest completions. Everyone's going to have the ability to cast a couple of spores per turn, which will help you get through your deck every single round consistently, due to the fact that you're just completing 3 full houses every turn, which is going to be awesome. So that's going to be the reason why we're running spore cards on our Nine. In addition to that, we're just basically Joker, give him a zero cost spore card as well. Doesn't have to have the gain 1 AP divine or anything special on it. It might help you set up early on. Doesn't really matter that much though. You just need to have a copy of that. And then don't worry about these divine shuffles. You could literally take these out of the deck if you so desire. They just happen to show up, and it's going to help me be a little bit more consistent. As you can see, like my gear and stuff is just kind of whatever. Sporelia build is pretty much the same thing as the build we just saw with Cassius. 3 Will of Lights, a spore card generator for herself, the zero cost growth acceleration, so you can use this for free and be AP efficient and trigger the softy. And we also have 1 copy of nutrient absorption. It doesn't have to be the double draw crazy one here. This is here so you can remove a single card that you don't want to see as you're doing your meme dream build out of the battle, and that's going to be how we're removing Fighting Spirit from our Nine deck. So at the end of the day, once we have cast Counterblade, the upgrade card, the only thing that's going to be in our deck at the end of the day, Hugh's going to be sitting in the hand, Counterblade's going to be an upgrade, the Spore is going to be sitting in our hand, we're removing Fighting Spirit, so there's going to be no Nine cards in the deck at all. We're going to have the Softy sitting in our hand, the Nutrient Absorption will exhaust itself, the Spore will be sitting in our hand, and then we'll just have Growth Acceleration, 3 Will of Lights, and then 3 Jokers in our deck. So our deck's going to be consistent of 7 cards, which is 3 Jokers, 3 Will of Lights, and a Growth Acceleration, and it's going to help you just sort of meme dream around and stack up damage and be super consistent in that regard. I like this build. It helps me hit consistently high meme numbers. And let's just go and check it out. Now, this isn't going to be like how to clear this boss, blah, 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 blah. There's a lot of different things that can mess this up, right? Card generation, caps per turn will make you a little less consistent since you're using Cassius with Full House. There's also the anti-healing effects, right? Which is why we just kind of have this guy here so we can showcase exactly how something like this is going to work for us. Now, Hue Extreme, we're just going to leave in the hand. Joker's kind of hanging out right here. This does happen to have 2 draws on it, so we're just going to use this to see what happens as we're setting up. We'll cast our Counterblade, and it's very important to note, if you haven't really paid attention, whose cards are whose in your hand. As you can see, the game actually lets you know when the start of someone's cards happens, and it differentiates, as you can see, Cassius's cards as well as Orlia's and then Nine's. That's because it's going to help you keep track of the contaminated spore nonsensical stuff going on right now. So I'm just going to Joker, and we're going to try to set up for some card generation. So let's go ahead and get Pop-Eyed Popper going. That's cool. It's all good fun. We want Full House here. All right, we'll do this here. Then we can cast a Shuffle here. It's going to count for his card. We don't have anything for her. And let's just go ahead and remove the Will of Light and the other Shuffle. See if we can't get set up. We can Joker. Now we need to go and get the Spore Harvester of our 9. Fortunately for me, I remember that 9 Spore Harvester is the one that has Vulnerable on it. Cast that. Full House. Nutrient Absorption, which we don't have access to quite yet, of casting something Big Neato, because this is literally only here to remove 9's Fighting Spirit. So we'll do that later. We're not going to cast this right now. And we're just going to Will of Light one more time. And for a turn 1, we're like almost set up, right? So the other important thing is you want to end your turn with only one of each person's Spore in your hand, because you're making sure that your hand size doesn't get too big, because you're going to have Spore, eventually one other Spore for 3 Spores that will double to 6 Spores, then 7 and 8, and you're going to draw 2 cards per turn there. But then Cassius will help you get through it. So as you can see, we're here. Spore. Here's Cassius's Spore. That'll trigger Full House. We can Growth Acceleration, and now we're going to be kind of locked into this, right? So the only thing we need to do now is to get Nutrient Absorption and remove Fighting Spirit from our deck for forever. So now we can use Will of Light for 1 mana. It'll dupe all your Spores, one of each person. Look at that. Boom. There's the Nutrient Absorption. Remove the Fighting Spirit. And now we should be basically locked in. So we have Will, Joker. In the graveyard, Growth Acceleration Will, which means we no longer need this Shuffle. We'll just exhaust it. It's gone forever. Goodbye, sir. Don't need it. And now we're just going to be setting up. So we can go ahead and Joker. We'll Joker for another Will of Light. We'll Will of Light. And now it gets easy. So setting up's the hard part. Afterwards, it's literally just, hey, Joker for Will of Light and cast Will of Light as many times as possible. If you gain access to the 0 cost one here, which we're about to, we're going to Joker, rip, nothing, everything's gone, dude. All right, so we're gonna cycle through and just keep doing this for a hot minute. So the benefit of this is that you're gonna cast Will of Light 2 to 3 times per turn, which is going to allow you to cast some Contaminated Spores multiple times per turn, and it's also going to hit the Retain on the Softy multiple times per turn. And if you hit the growth acceleration, you can also get extra Softy procs on said turns. So it's pretty nice. We don't hate it. And technically, now that I'm running through this, it could be possibly slightly better if you only have 2 Jokers in the deck instead of 3, because it doesn't really, it kind of gets in the way, but also at the same time doesn't really matter. Or run 3 Jokers, 3 Will of Lights, and then just let one of your builds, because these builds aren't too hard to make, let one of your builds have the Cthulhu Orb of Randomness, get 1 AP, draw an extra card at the start of your turn. You're not going to get the benefit of the card draw per se, but you will get the benefit of the extra AP, which is a pretty big deal. So usually your 3 AP is going to go to cast 1 Will of Light, cast 1 Joker, cast another Will of Light. Depending on what you draw, it could be a little bit different, right? And then you also want to fit in that 0 on the Softy if you can. And you can see that we're stacking, decent damage bonuses here. We're only on turn 5. We haven't even hit the max amount of extreme maximum yet, and it's already at, what is this? Now we're at 11,000. It's a 95,000 multiplier, and we're on turn 6, right? So, and because the decks are made the exact way that they're made, you really don't have to worry about the hand size, making a Full House in the wrong order, not making enough Contaminated Spores and messing it up that way. Once you have it set up, you actually can't mess it up unless you are trying to Will of Light while you have like 6 Contaminated Spores in your hand already, or something dumb like that. It actually works pretty well and pretty easy. Is it the most busted thing? I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure like this boss punishes you already for trying to spam HP heals continuously on your turn, because like they're afraid of Mika's AP generation on Source of Water, I guess, so everyone's got to suffer. We could talk about game balance a different day. They're still afraid of that girl apparently, but Let's see what we can get to at like turn. This is only turn 8. Let's see what we can get to at turn 10, and we'll meet you back here. Oh, shoot, that's turn 10. So end of turn 10, we have 95 spores on the man. Cool, cool, cool. And 1,610 on Softy Retain. It's a 22,000 base mod. I can't drag it to C though. So see what it is if we target him. 319,000. 319,000. So let's see. What's the, I guess this is turn 11, but oh, I don't even have a partner on Orlia. I'm missing damage. Whatever. Really, you're the last one in there? All right, cool. 24,000 mod, 360,000 mod. Does it crit? Yeah, 1 million damage. Yeah, 1 million damage. Got him. So 1 million damage, turn 11. That is about, that's over 100,000 damage a turn. That's not bad. That's not bad at all.